is happening here. Okay, happy Monday. It's Monday again already. Okay, I just wanted to turn this on over here. So I have that in the background. Okay, if you're here, let me know you're here. Let's chat together so it's not just me chatting to you. But let's see, how was your weekend? I always feel like there's a lag here, so what I should do is start it, and then I should get all ready, and then by the time I'm all ready, then it'll be like the normal time. So we are not okay here in Iowa. It is over like 100 degrees. It's so humid. You walk outside and on my walk this morning, I did not go as far. The dog was hot. She gets hot very easily. And as soon as I walked out the back door, and early, I'm up and out early, it was so humid. Like the air is just so thick. My least favorite weather. I just cannot wait till fall. I'm hoping, my mom's like, we'll get through July. And I'm thinking August is probably not going to be any better. So I am sorry if you were dealing with this weather as well. Today, any other true crime people here? There's certain, it's not like I sit and watch full trials, but I like to listen to true crime podcasts, and that Lindsay Clancy trial begins today. I think at 9 or something, but that's just a crazy story. So any true crime people that you don't know, Lindsay Clancy's trial is starting. That starts today. So right after this, I am going to launch some new things on the shop page. So if you don't know, periodically, I don't do it every week because I just did not have the time to source stuff to have a launch every week. Periodically, I will launch things on the shop page, and so that you can shop them. It's some of the vintage finds that I find. So it's just My Creative Days shop here on Instagram. You can find it. I am launching that today at 9, which I need to remind myself that I need to watch the time, just because I have to be off for that so I can make sure I'm ready for that. So if you get off here and go over there, or just make sure you're following that page. And then also, if you turn on notifications for that page, you'll know. I always put in stories like, I'm going to launch next week, or stay tuned, something's coming, or something like that. It's not like I just do it. I do let you know a little bit ahead of time that on Monday at 9 or whatever, there will be new things launched. So you can check that out after this. So I do not see anybody here yet. So I'm going to see if somebody says something, because I do not see anybody here. I did bring some things that I can do here on the live, but I'm not gonna, if there's nobody here, I don't want to do that. So if you're here, you can hear me. Can you let me know where you're coming from? Say hello, give me an emoji. And I do share these. I put them over on the YouTube channel as well. So somebody said a couple weeks ago, somebody said that they're working and they can't catch them live. So I get that. I would not be able to find the perfect time for everybody and my schedule. So I do upload these to YouTube. It'll just be further down the road, if that makes sense. So if you miss these, then definitely just go to the YouTube channel, which again, it's just youtube.com/@mycreativedays. So super easy. I try to keep it super, super simple. I still do not see anybody here. I'm going to wait for a few more minutes and see if anybody says anything. I brought a project here that I can hopefully restore. Use this restore finish that we talked about last week. I'm hoping I'll be able to do it on this, because it's kind of like, I don't know if it's going to do it. We'll see. So I have this clock here I shared this in one of my thrift hauls, which this was actually a yard sale haul. Yeah, it was a yard sale. I share all of those on my YouTube channel too, all my hauls. But this, what I wanted to do, to be completely honest, was sand this, and I can always sand it after I do this. But I was going to see if you have something like this. I was going to see if the Restore would actually work on this. I know it'll help in the front. So if you can see that glare. So this is so I'm just going to get into it. If you are here, you can hear me, you can see me. Can you just let me know? I understand some people, I've gotten messages afterwards that some people are they just like to listen, or they're shy. They don't want to say anything. I get that. I just want to know if this is whatever, working. But anyway, this kind of, you can see the scratches and stuff on the wood. This is when I will grab Restore and not salve. So the furniture salve, I do not have anything here. Well, I could cut here. Like this is another great example. So you see that back? It's not like the wood is dry. So you can kind of see there's kind of a sheen on this. And not that there has to be sheen on everything for you to use Restore Finish, but this is something I would use Restore Finish on and not the salve. Now, here's another one of my finds. I have not done a haul on this yet. So this I just found. Where's that green light coming from? Okay, so this I just found. And if I can show, you can see how the wood frame is kind of dry, right? It's got some scratches, right? But it's dry. I have wiped it down, but it's just kind of dry. This, if I wanted to make it look a little bit better, I would put salve on it. Obviously it's black, so I'm not going to do Restore Finish, but like if this was a wood frame like this, you see how the wood is dry, then I would, I don't know, there's some kind of filter or something on here. Then I would use the salve on this. It's just kind of like dry and dull. This is scratched. So this is Restore Fit. There we go. That's a good picture. So let me just try this now and we'll see what we get. So somebody was asking about Restore Finish, and I think it was a water stain that they had last week. And water stains, depending on the project, water stains, what I would try and use, depending on how bad they are. So water rings on like a wood table, use a really fine steel wool, and then like furniture salve, that salve that I share, and that should get that water ring out. Now, what they were showing is kind of more like this, and that top, I should sand it down completely, just because it's different. You see what I'm saying? Just so then you have like what do I want to say? Like a cohesive surface to work on. But for these other things, I'm just going to show you. So I usually use a rag, but what I have in front of me is paper towels. So that's what we're going to use. And I usually put on gloves. I'm just doing this little thing. Another thing, I always have dark walnut. It comes in a ton of colors. I always have dark walnut and natural on hand. So for this, it's a little bit darker. So that's what I'm going to use. And I find, I always put the lid back on because I'm the one that will spill it. I find that, let me just do it this way. The darker, those two areas or two colors kind of fit everything that I'm going to use it on. Like what? I have this linked everywhere. I share this all the time. I mean, it's unbelievable stuff. So let me turn this around. And then I'll do, so you can see this. Let me just do this one corner. I'm telling you, this kind of, the stuff that I share, I don't know how long I've been sharing this and using this stuff. It never gets old. Like I still get amazed every time I use it. You see what I'm doing? I'm just trying to go around all these pieces. It's just one of those projects, products that you should have on hand at all times, especially if you're somebody like me that loves this vintage like this is how you decorate your home, there's gonna always be scratches and dings and things on these kinds of pieces. But the more scratches and dings, the merrier for me. Like, it just shows character and all of that. But look at that. Did I even get up here? I don't think I even got up here. Night and day. And then you can wipe off the excess with the furniture salve that I share all the time. I sometimes, depending on the wood, I like to let it sit overnight just to see what's going to soak up. But for this, I mean, wipe up the excess and you're fine. Okay, from this to this, look at this. It's amazing. So let's see what it'll do with the top. I got to get a little bit more on my, I have to watch the time. Okay, I'm good. Okay. So I'm just getting a little bit more on here. And that's another thing about like this and the salve. It'll last you so long because you don't have to use a ton. But, so let's see what it'll do here. Oh, look at that. Look at that. So you see the difference. You can see the difference on the top here. So you see the Restore Finish can. It's exactly what this piece was. But you can see the difference. This isn't going to bother me. I'm not going to re-sand it. I like the different colors. But you can see what sanding would have done because they were different. You know, it was like more worn out in areas, if that makes sense. But then you do run the risk of, if you sand this, that it may go down to this or any other thing that you're going to sand. It may go down too far, so now you're like restaining it. Does that make sense? Which, I mean, that'd be fine too. So since we're here, and since nobody's saying anything, this is one thing. Okay, there we go. I sometimes don't put the lid on right. And do it outside. There is a smell to it, but again, I'm just, for this purpose, just this little video. Seconds. In seconds, you're done. Like, it's, okay, so now I'm gonna do the front. Okay, another thing, if it starts downpouring, I may have to cut this short because all of our porch windows are open. So if I just cut this short, that's what happened. You guys, what is even happening? Look at this. So when you find these pieces that are like this and you're like, oh, it's scratched, I love it. I love old clocks. I love old little clocks. And she did say this one worked. I haven't even tested it yet. I didn't care. But when you see things thrifting or at yard sales or at church sales and you're like, oh, it's scratched. Oh, it's the wrong color, or it's faded, or it's, pick it up. Just pick it up. Literally, this is like $10. And then you'll use it on the products that you have on hand at all times, that all-in-one paint that I share all the time, the salve, this, you will use all the time. General Electric clock. I hadn't noticed that there was something on the bottom of it. That's it, you guys. It's done. Now I can put it on a shelf. I'm going to plug it in and see if it works. Hey, when I have you guys here, I always put a... We're going to see. Oh my gosh, can you hear that? What's that mean? It works. Now that's too loud for me. Can you guys hear that? I don't know how you make it. What? Oh yeah. yeah, it is going around. Can you guys see that it's going around? I thought it wasn't going around there. Why does it sound like that? It sounds like it's really... When you set on the table, it's a lot louder. Well, it works. So that's cool. Even if it didn't work, when I find these pieces, what I will do a lot of times, if I'm just going to use them for decoration, which again, that's okay too. Pick them up if they don't work. If you like the look of them, I will just cut the cords. Some people may not like that, but I do. I'm not gonna, I'm using them for the look, not for the function, if that makes sense. So I would cut the cords. And sometimes I've done that for like little lights or little lamps. We've redone though too, electrical too. So this was so I shared, whenever I have a thrift haul or a yard sale haul, I share it all on my YouTube video or YouTube channel. And this was a yard sale that I went to that I have found some amazing yard sales this season so far. But they had things from Gucci shoes for really inexpensive to like just some really cool finds. And this was sitting there and it was $3. What else? I shared it on the video. I picked up something else there and she's like, you know what? It might have been this. It might have been this. This might have been in a Ziploc bag. And she said it smelled old. So it was, I think it was $3 or something she put on it. But anyway, it didn't have an old smell at all. Like I understand an old smell, which that wouldn't bother me. But it didn't at all. So I don't know if that's why she priced it like that, but it had all the scratches and stuff. But she put right on there, it works. So, that was such a cool yard sale. And if you saw I don't know if it was stories. I think it was stories I shared on here. I was going to record the whole thing. I was starting to walk up there. I had my phone out. I'm like, I'm just going to record this one. And then I got up there and I saw a few of the things and I blacked out and I turned my phone off. And I just had to start digging because there were other people there and I just knew it was going to be a good sale. So that's how I am when I go to these things. But so yeah, that's the story. But it's been sitting here and I've been wanting to do the restore finish on it. And last week somebody asked about restore finish. So I'm like, wait a minute, that would be, look at this. That green thing must be a filter, wherever that hair is sticking straight up. Anyway, so I thought this would be a perfect little project to do here live then, since somebody asked about it. Okay, another thing, if you saw my stories this morning, I shared a little bit about these. So this is something, unless you're near me, don't look for these. But this is something I thought would be interesting. And so these, this does not look brown in real life. So it's a normal orange pumpkin. I don't know what this is. So anyway, so look for these right now. Your thrift store should be bringing out their fall, Halloween. More fall probably right now, but sometimes Halloween gets thrown in with that. Sometimes it gets so overwhelming when they put the Halloween stuff out and the costumes in our stores. It's just like, sometimes I'm just like, it's just too overwhelming. I can't look for it. Look through it all. But the costume area is where you can find some really good things. So there's another little tip for you. But this is the time to look for your vintage, these pails. And so I wrote a blog post today. Just go to mycreativedays.com and I showed you the things to look for the vintage ones compared to like just your regular, I don't even know, does Dollar Tree sell these anymore? I know there's like the bucket ones that you can get. Look at this. The bucket ones that you can get that, don't look like this, but there are certain things you should look for unless if I love to find these. So number one, the plastic, I'm just going to go through some of these things because if you're a vintage lover like I am, and you may want to start collecting these things or picking up these things when you see them, the plastic's going to be a lot more sturdy and hard and I can't really push this. Do you know what I'm saying? Like some of the chintzy plastic nowadays, you can totally move it, if that makes sense. Another thing to look for, obviously, here we go, because I shared the ironstone. This was kind of the same thing, is the stamp again, this is all orange. See, look at that. I don't know what that is. Stamps on the bottom. Now, not all of them are going to have stamps. Oh, there we go. So you can see that this one is stamped Empire Plastic Company, I think that's what it is. And it's 1960, this one said, oh, Corporation, 1968. So that's another thing you can look for. There's other stamps. I put them on the website today that you can look for to look for the older ones. Another thing to look for is the thicker band here. So you see how thick this is? Nowadays, this thing is real skinny. And again, the plastic is different. Do you know what I'm saying? The plastic is different. And then if you see here, this one has, if I can, metal. You see these metal, I don't know what you call these. Are these like eyelets or, they're not really grommets, but it's not just a hole. But not to say that some of the vintage ones won't be that. Or maybe they're missing this or whatever. And I will still pick them up if they don't even have the handle. So, and sometimes you can tell by the faces. And the more, again, just like ironstone, the more you pick them up, the better it'll be. But these, they think they're just the regular pails. And not that these are worth a ton of money by any means. But if you're like me and you love the vintage stuff, this is what I'd rather bring in than the other ones. And I have seen some amazing displays of these. Not necessarily like they're vintage either, but just of these pails and these buckets around like the front door. And if you just look it up on Pinterest, you'll see a ton of ideas. But it's just kind of fun to have the vintage ones. Like this is what 1968 was, no, mine was more probably 80s. But this is what they carried back in the day. So I feel like they're a little bit bigger, but maybe not. We used to take pillowcases. We were in like 8th grade though, going around trying to fill up pillowcases on Halloween. So this is all on the website today. I shared more stuff about plastic and all that kind of stuff so that you can easily find these when you're out and about and looking. Not all of them, like I said, have stamps. And can you see this? And I shared a picture on there too. This says Empire. It's kind of like their logo. But anyway, something to search for. I feel like vintage Halloween is harder to find. Vintage Christmas is hard to find. I love to pick up vintage Christmas. Vintage Halloween, I feel like, is even harder. Probably because, like, do you guys remember back in the day, my mom, she would, just like when my kids were little, we decorate for all the holidays, right? But the paper skeletons, that had what are they called? So the skeletons moved, like you'd hang them on your front door and those kinds of things, like they just didn't last over the years. So I feel like vintage Halloween is just harder to find, but it's something that I would love to find thrifting more. I feel like you find these a lot. You'll find these more than anything, but like actual vintage other stuff, it's harder and harder to find. They do have a lot of good dupes though. Speaking of Halloween, and I did share this, but I thought this was cute. So I do not sew at all. I don't know anything about sewing. This is not cross stitch, but what is this? This little Halloween. I thought this was so cute. And I love that I love the size of this because I don't have to hang this on the wall. This would fit on the back of a shelf or on the wall behind a shelf. Does that make sense? Where you don't have to just put it on the living room wall. We don't have a lot of space to be hanging things. So yeah. What else was I going to talk about today? That's really all I had. Another thing, does anybody just not trust any videos anymore that they see anywhere because everything is AI, especially if there's a person in there that says anything? This morning I was watching one and I'm like, is this even, did this person really say that? Like that doesn't even, so then you just automatically are like, well, it's AI. It's got to be AI. I don't know if that's not going to help. I just don't trust a lot of those things anymore because everything is, the videos and stuff are all AI. But the dad, if you have not watched the dad crash out movies where they're some of the funniest things. I don't know what it is about them, but they make me laugh so hard. It's when a dad, it could be a grandpa too, but it's when they are working on something in a house, on the outside of the house, whatever it is. And something goes wrong and they start swearing, or they start, I hate this house, or whatever it is. I die laughing because it was so my dad. And even Matt now too. Sometimes it's when Matt's just driving. I'm like, I should just turn on the camera when you're driving because he gets so mad. But the dad crash out movie or videos are the most hilarious. And I don't even know if that's what they're called, but where the dads are working on something and then, you know, something falls, or the screw falls out of the drill or whatever, or it doesn't work right. They're hilarious. They are so funny to me because that was so my dad, and it is Matt too sometimes, but so funny. You ask yourself the same thing. Yeah, about the AI videos. I'm sure that's what you're talking about. I just don't trust any of them anymore. Even if it looks like the mouths move just right, the voices are exactly the same. Like, to be completely honest, it freaks me out. I'm just going to be completely honest. It freaks me out because anybody could put anything on there. Like, you know, that is just, it freaks me out. Thank you so much for commenting. Unless somebody else. Oh, any story with it. Yes. Thank you for asking. And I missed this one. Can you show what you're using? So obviously that was back up there. So that I was just using the Restore Finish. Howard Products Restore Finish. I mean, it's magic in a can. Every household needs this for so many things. I just redid this, not redid, but this clock was all scratched up. I mean, it looks perfect now. If you message me, I can give you the link to it. You can find it on Amazon. I'm sure you can get it at Home Depot and Lowe's and all of that as well. We have Menards here. Does anybody have a Menards? I think that's just more like Midwest. But we go to Menards a lot as well. So I don't know if you can get Howard products at Menards though. I've never noticed that they list used to restore antiques, furniture, desks, dressers, tables, chairs, clocks is on here. Pianos, all that. Yeah, that stuff is just like magic in a can. So if you have not used it yet, definitely use it. Okay, like I said, as soon as I get off here, I'm getting things ready. I'm launching a few things that you can shop over on the shop page. So I do this periodically. I was doing it once a week, but I didn't have the time with everything else that I'm doing. I didn't have the time to source it once a week. So every now and then I put some things together that I have found for you to shop. So I'm going to be doing that. It will launch at 9 a.m. So you can go over there and shop that. I have seen some different ways that people do that, like shop on their page. So I'm thinking about maybe trying that next time. Not today, but so yeah, I don't know. I might try that. So if you guys are, I don't know if you guys are over on the shop page or like that, but a lot of people have asked me, you should open up a shop. I don't want to have to. I love shopping vintage. I love hunting for things, but I'm also somebody that doesn't like to hoard things. Does that make sense? So I don't like to buy things just to buy things. But when you're shopping the way I do to find things, what do I want to say? Like vintage things, antique things, and the way that I'm shopping for them, I want to find them thrifting, yard sailing, those kinds of things. Like I'm rarely in an antique store unless there's something specific that I'm trying to find. But when I find it, I like to pick it up. But again, I'm not somebody that wants to keep everything I find. But if I find it when I'm out and about like that, I have to pick it up. Does that make sense? And so when I was doing the shop every week, I love doing that. It was just becoming where I just couldn't do it. If that was all I was doing, I could totally do it. But I have so many other things that I'm doing that I can't put so much time into that, as much time as it needs for every week. But so it is kind of a fun way to kind of have a shop. There's never been any ounce of me that has wanted to have a shop. I don't think. I say that. I've thought about booths and stuff, and I did a whole thing about what you should know, because there have been times when I've thought about it. If you've ever thought about opening a booth or whatever, go read my blog post, because there are things, for years I've thought about it, and there are things, like there's a list of things that you definitely should know before you even think about signing anything. So I did do a whole blog post for that, just for people, because I did get a question for it recently, and so I did a podcast about it, because there's definitely things you should know before signing. But we used to have sales at our house a couple times a year. We had one last fall. It was so good, and it was so packed. I don't think we're gonna do one in the fall, just because I just don't think we have enough stuff. Our last flip house we bought it with everything in it. So there was a lot of stuff, and a lot of good stuff, not necessarily yard sale stuff, if that makes sense. So that took a long time to kind of go through all of that. We still have stuff from that. So, okay, I am going to hop off now. Do you have any other questions? You are from, oh my gosh, hello. Yes, you are the one. Yes, Newfoundland, Canada. What is the weather like there right now? We are in Iowa, and just like, it's weather where you don't even want to go outside. It's just not enjoyable at all. And we had 3 days here, like 5 days ago, that the weather was so perfect. Everybody was so happy. Like, you could sit out all day long. It was warm, but it was not hot. It was not humid. It was chilly in the morning. Like, it's the best weather. And then somebody said, we're going to be hit with it again. And then I was like, what? And we were hit with it. This weekend, we were hit with it. Gabrielle, our daughter, went to a concert kind of at like a fair this weekend. And she said she was getting ready to go. And I said, it's going to be miserable, so hot. And they're all like jammed together. It does not sound fun to me at all. And her friend that she was with almost passed out because she was so hot. They were just, because you're like sardines there. That is not, especially in the heat. No, thank you. Obviously, age plays a big part of that. But so they were at the bathroom, just like she was drinking water, and just like she had to get away from the people, her friend. And so they watched it from the bathroom. Not all of it, but some of it, because she was just not good. And she was one of those girls that would like sometimes pass out, just like when they would have school functions and stuff. So 30 degrees. See, I am such, that's short here, 18 tomorrow. I would rather have it be cooler than hot. I just love the cooler weather. For sure. Fall is my favorite. Fall is my absolute. Oh, yes. You only have 8 weeks of summer. I feel like all of June, it was great. It was so good. It's like we were really spoiled in June. And I kept saying, if summer was like this, I would enjoy summer. This is perfect. And then it's always July, and then August. The only thing I hate, it's nice that you only have 8 weeks of summer, because for us, sometimes I swear we go straight from summer to winter. Like our fall is not very long, or it's on the other end, we go straight from winter to summer. But like this year, June was pretty good. So we did have kind of a longer spring, but I wish fall could last I wish fall could start in August and last through December. I'm the person that I don't care if we have snow for Christmas. Now, some of my family wants snow for Christmas, but I'd rather not have it. I'm fine. If it's just chilly, I don't need snow on Christmas, but they like to have it, so. Okay, I'm going to hop off now and get ready for the shop stuff. And I will try again next week. I keep feeling like I'll keep doing this for a little while and see how it goes. I appreciate you so much. Oh, see? Your summer was super hot. Yes. Do you have yard sales in Canada? That's so random. But do you have like yard sales, garage sales? I don't know if you call them something else. They're rummage sales, church sales in Canada. I know you have thrift stores there. Oh, you do? Okay. You do. Okay. I thought for some reason somebody said there are no such thing as like yard sales or garage sales in Canada. So I don't know what we were talking about yard sales and then Canada. I guess I just put the two together, but okay. That's awesome. Okay. I appreciate you so much going back and forth here with me. It just makes it so much more fun. So thank you so much for showing up and chatting with me. And I will try this again next week at 8 a.m. Central. Again, I will put this all over on my YouTube channel. I'll save this video and put it over there. So in case you're working and missed it, but oh, that's awesome. Lots of them here. Okay. I don't know why I thought somebody said that. I could be totally wrong too. It could have been somewhere else, but okay. I hope you have a great day, a great week, and I will talk to you next time.